हज़रात गिरामी, यूँ तो बरेली शहर में जब भी जाना हुआ तो कुर्ब नज़दीक से अल्लामा की ज़ियारत हुई, लेकिन मेरी पहली मुलाकात इनसे बड़े खुशगवार माहौल में हुई थी। कलकत्ते में मटिया बुर्ज की सरजमीन पर। मटिया बुर्ज वही ज़मीन है जहाँ वाहिद अली शाह को गिरफ्तार कर बंद किया गया था। काफ़ी बड़ी आबादी मुसलमानों की, लाखों की तादाद में हम वहाँ जलसा था, और जलसे में हुजूर आकाई मुफ्ती-ए-आज़म हिंद अलैहिर्रहमा, उस्तादुल उम्मा हाफ़िज़ मिल्लत अलैहिर्रहमा तशरीफ़ फरमा थे, और मुझे हुक्म दिया गया था खिताब का। ग़ालिबन मौत उन्वान था। उस ज़माने में मौत की तकरीर इस कदर चल पड़ी थी कि लोग इस तरफ मुतालबा करते थे जैसे शायरों से गज़ल का मुतालबा करते हैं। तो वहाँ मुतालबा हुआ कि आप मौत के मौजू तकरीर करें। मैं मौत के मौजू पे दो घंटे ज़्यादा मैंने तकरीर की। वो इत्तेफाक से मजमे के आखिरी हिस्से में एक कत्ल हो गया। किसी ने किसी को छुरा मार दिया, लेकिन मुंतज़मीन कमाल ये है कि कत्ल हो गया मगर जलसे में कोई असर नहीं पड़ा। उसे उठा के ले गए। सुबह जनाजा हुआ। उसके बाद हम लोगों की दावत थी, ख़ासकर मेरी और मौलाना की, चुन्नू कुरैशी के यहाँ। तो ये खा नहीं रहे थे। तो मैं वही साहबजादे खाते क्यों नहीं आप? फिर भी खामोश। मैंने कहा खाइए ना। तो कहा वो उस कब्र में उससे हिसाब दिया जा रहा होगा। उस रोज़ अंदाज़ा हुआ कि कुदरत ने कुछ मखसूस दिल अता फरमाया महसूस करने वाला। और भी बहुत सी बातें हैं, फिर कभी इंशाअल्लाह जब इनके लिए कोई जलसा करेंगे। तो फ़िलहाल तो नशीद से मुलाकात की, वो आ रहे हैं और सरकार मुफ्ती-ए-आज़म हिंद के बाब में अपने मुशाहदात, अपने महसूसात बयान करेंगे। आप सब उनके मुरीद हैं, बेशतर उनमें से इंशाअल्लाह इस्तिफ़ादा करेंगे। तशरीफ़ लाइए।
Shaykh Abdul Hadi Sahibullah.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह व शुक्रुलिल्लाह। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला ताजिल अंबिया'i व अशरफिल मुरसलीन सय्यिदना व हबीबना व नबिय्यना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन सय्यिदिद दुनिया वद्दीन इमामिल महबूबीन वअला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि दुर्रिल मयामीन व इब्निहिल करीमिल गौसल आज़म मुहियुद्दीन अब्दुल क़ादिर अल-जीली व हिज़्बिही व बारिक वसल्लिम। अम्मा बाद, फ़क़ाल अल्लाह सुब्हानहु व तआला फ़ी क़ुरआनिहिल अज़ीम व किताबिहिल क़दीम, अला इन्न अवलिया अल्लाहि ला खौफ़ुन अलैहिम व ला हुम यहज़नून। वयक़ूलु अल्लाह सुब्हानहु व तआला फ़ी शान हबीबिहिल मुबारक, इन्नल्लाह व मलाइकतहु युसल्लूना अलन नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लु अलैहि व सल्लिमू तस्लीमा। अल्लाहुम्म सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मद करीमिन नसब व यस्सिर लना बिहुब्बिका व हुब्बुहु कुल्लु सबब व आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि व बारिक वसल्लिम। हुज़ूर मुहतरमुल मुकर्रम ज़ुल इज़्ज़त वल हशम हज़रत मौलाना क़मरुज़्ज़मान क़ादरी रज़वी दामर बरकातुहुल क़ुद्सिया, उलमाए किराम, मेरे अज़ीज़ों और दोस्तों, अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। It is not my habit to speak in the presence of the elders. I try to avoid that because out of due respect, he is my senior, I have senior ulama here, and it becomes very difficult for me to speak However, it's their command that I say a few words. And the reason why I have acceded to the commands, because it is a very delicate subject and that deals with my Murshid al-Kamil, Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb Alam, Imam Mustafa Raza radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. A friend of mine had requested me to repeat the talk, part of the talk that I had given in the Jami Masjid of Wakefield, pertaining to the spiritual kingdom. And in obedience to his command as well, I will speak partially on the subject of the spiritual kingdom. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. The subject matter that was given to me was about our Murshid al-Kamil, Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb Alam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. You must have heard about him, and I will expound on what little you know, because I lived with him for approximately 9 years, and I've traveled with him, and I have also traveled with him as his khadim for the Hajj that we performed in 1971. A few things about the Hajj as well that will be of great interest to you. And I would like to touch on the subject of his wilayah. He was a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every murid regards his murshid as a wali of Allah. But I have some very important information that I would like to share with you about his wilayah, because a father and the son, the father and the son, yani the father was the mujaddid of the century, and he was Imam al-Akbar, Ala Hazrat Imam Ahmad Rida radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who not only shook the world with the tip of his pen. He didn't not only shook the world with the tip of his pen, but he also enlightened the hearts of the Muslim by the tip of his pen. That's a subject on its own. The great Mujaddid represented on this earth. He was a representative and the naib of Sultan al-Awliya, Sayyidina Shaykh Shaykh Abdul Hadi al-Qadiri radiyallahu ta'ala. After his demise, or before his demise, he prepared his son for that seat which was going to be occupied by his young son, Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb Alam radiyallahu ta'ala. So Ala Hazrat was also a ghaus of his time, but he was the Qutb al-Irshad. Maybe these words may sound foreign to you, but I will explain to you what is a Qutb, what is a ghaus. आप लोग जो गौस पाक कहते हैं, गौस पाक, ये गौस होता है कौन? Who is this supreme commander in the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So, after the father passed away, our Murshid al-Kamil, Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb Alam radiyallahu ta'ala occupied the seat of the Ghaus and the representative of Sayyidina Ghaus al-Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So the repetition of the talk that I have given on Friday, on Friday at the Jummah Masjid of Wakefield, a portion of that which I spoke about the spiritual kingdom. As I said, that any country in the world cannot operate without a government. Every country has a government, and they have an assembly which you call the parliament to make sure that the country operates in a proper manner. There are different departments, there are different ministries that are in charge of different departments of the country. Likewise, do you think that this kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not operate without a parliament? There is also a parliament that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has organized to run the affairs of this entire dunya. Now, if you look at the chart of creation, the chart is you'll get al-insan, the human being, that we are all human beings. And in that human being, there are two different groups. One is known as the perfect human being, and one is known as the imperfect human being. आप लोग समझ रहे हैं ना? ठीक, जो बात आपको अच्छी लगे अल्लाह की तारीफ करो, को सुभान अल्लाह. So the human being is divided into two groups. One is known as the perfect human, and the other is known as the imperfect human. So we're not dealing with the imperfect human, we will deal only with the perfect human being. The perfect human being is further divided into two groups. One is known as the dependent perfect, and the other one is known as the independent perfect. Okay, the two groups. One is the perfect independent, and the other is the perfect dependent. Now, when you look at the perfect independent human being, Allah has only created one in the entire universe. Only one. Second to none, no similarity to him, nothing can be compared to him, and that is our Master Sayyidina Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He is the only perfect independent human that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. When I say independent, because he is not dependent on creation besides being dependent on Allah. Okay? Then you get the perfect dependent human. This is further split in two groups. The independent, the perfect dependent human has got two groups. One is Sahib Wahi, one is Sahib Ghair Wahi. Yani one receives revelation from Allah and one does not receive revelation from Allah, but he gets inspiration. There's a big difference between revelation and inspiration. So we will deal first with those who get the revelation, wahi. They are known as the Prophet fraternity, Nabi, Anbiya. This group is further divided into two groups. The Prophet fraternity is divided into two groups. One group is known as the Rasul, and the other group is known as the Nabi. Now, in the Rasul fraternity, there are groups. I don't want to confuse you. I don't want to tangle your mind. But just understand, there's a Rasul, there's a Nabi. Every Rasul is a Nabi, but not every Nabi is a Rasul. All that you must understand. Because the Rasul category, there are many categories in that. which we will not be discussing. So that part of it is those who receive the revelation from Allah, the wahi from Allah. Let's come back this side because we are dealing with non-prophet. Sarkar Huzur Mufti-e-Azam and the Awliya fraternity are non-prophets. They are subservients of prophets. They work under the command and supervision of a prophet. So they are those who receive a mode of communication from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is known as ilqa, or you can call it inspiration. That group who receives the inspiration from Allah are non-prophets, as divided into two groups. They are then split into two groups. One group is known as the parliamentarian of the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and one is known as the non-parliamentarian of the kingdom of Allah. Okay? What we will be discussing is the parliamentarian, those who are in charge of the administration of the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by His command. So those who are parliamentarians, the parliamentarian group is further divided into 5 groups. Okay? The 5 groups, here is where you have to understand what is the word ghaus or what is the word Qutb. The first group of these 5 who are the administrators of the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number 1 is the ghaus. The second one is known as the Imamain. Imamain are the 2 viceroys of the ghaus. They are the 2 assistants of the ghaus. Okay? You get the ghaus, you get the Imamain, and then you get the Qutb, who is the speaker in the parliament. Okay? Then after that, you get the Abdal, the unique personalities. There are 40 of them that are in the kingdom of the administration of the kingdom. And then you get the other one who's known as the Awtad. The Awtad are the 4, there are 4 of them, and they are designated the 4 directions. You have 4 directions: east, west, south, and north. So at each point of this physical universe, there is one wali of Allah that stands guard by the command of Allah in that direction. So at any given time, there is, which is known as the Awtad. The Awtad means they are the pegs. They are the pegs of these 4 directions. They will be there to administrate whatever command they get from the Makhda or Mukhda, 2 words. Ana al-Hasaniyu wa Mukhda maqami. Mukhda is a station of Ghawsiyat Kubra, of the very high senior Ghaus, and that is at the moment Sayyidina Shaykh Abdul Hadi al-Jilani radiyallahu ta'ala. In Qasida Ghawsiyah, أنا الحسني ومخت مقامي وأقدامي على عنق الرجال. This is what Hazrat Ghaus al-Azam radiallahu anhu has spoken about in Qasida Ghawsiyah. Mukhda is an unknown restricted zone, and it is a station and platform from where the senior Ghaus sits and he administers the kingdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Imamain are his assistants. The Qutb is the speaker of the parliament, or you call him the chief whip. Now they are all these Awliya Allah under the command of the Grand Ghaus, Ghaus al-Azam. So they are their subservients. And our Murshid al-Kamil was the Ghaus of his time. And he sat in the spiritual parliament that he is convened once a week, and it is convened in the Ghar Hira, the Jabal al-Nur in Makkah Mukarramah. It is convened there. So I will not elaborate on this fact. I just want to now bring your attention to the fact about who Sayyidina Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Hind was. Sayyidina Ghaus al-Azam radiallahu ta'ala speaks about an arif, and he defines the word arif and what is the designation of an arif of Allah. Kehte nahi Allah ke arif billah. You say generally, a lot of them use the term, but बोल देते हैं लेकिन समझते नहीं कि ये है क्या है. समझे, ये अलकाब जो है बड़े सस्ते हो गए आज. जिसको चाहे जिस पर चस्पा कर दे, ये आरिफ बिल्लाह है, ये फलाना है, ये फलाना है. They don't understand who is an arif. और सपाक रज़ी अल्लाह ताला फरमाते आरिफ वो होता है कि जितनी भी मुनज़्ज़ल किताबें हैं आदम अलैहिस्सलाम से लेकर नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम तक, उसका तमाम उलूम जो है एक आरिफ की सीने में अल्लाह डाल देता है. So it is a very high platform, and it's a very high status that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to an arif of Allah, a true arif in the true sense of the word arif. And he also says that an arif's vision, the vision on an arif, uski nazar ki wus'at, and the extent of the vision of an arif is always locked onto the lawh mahfuz. All the time. Hama waqt jo hai unki nazar lawh mahfuz par rehti hai. That is an arif. And furthermore, the excellence and station of an arif is he who's been blessed with the station of taqween. Station of taqween is what? You must have heard that the command of kun of Allah, kun fayakun. It's Allah's command. If Allah ordains, जब अल्लाह इरादा फरमाता है तो कुन के हुक्म से जो है वो मखलूक वजूद में आती है, वो पैदा फरमाता है. कुन फरमाता है, हर चीज़ पैदा हो जाती है. Okay, now you want to know more about this, then you study the works of Shaykh Akbar Muhyiddin Ibn al-Arabi, and the name of that book is Shajaratul Kawn. What is creation? Shaykh Akbar radiallahu ta'ala says, creation, what is creation? When Allah uses the command of kun, is that whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says kun, something from non-existence come into existence. Adam se wujud mein aana. Then that is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how does this take place? Shaykh Akbar says, every time Allah beams or flashes His tajalli, creation come into being. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is a subject on its own now, just straight away, but I will bring you back to the point. Who is an arif? And Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb Alam radiallahu ta'ala was arif billah to a very high standard. And he was a ghaus of his time, ghaus al-waqt. Likewise, his father was Qutb al-Irshad as well. Okay, this is a station, a separate station. Anyway, I used to notice Huzur Mufti-e-Azam, मैंने अक्सर ये देखा कि हजरत जब बैठते थे, when he used to sit, he used to hold his hand, this hand, he used to put over his left fingers like this, and he used to look at his fingernails. नाखूनों पर आप नज़र फरमाते थे, यूँ करते थे, यूँ और यूँ देखते थे, काफ़ी देर तक बैठ के देखते थे. उस हम लोग बच्चे थे, हम लोग उस वक्त जवानी थी, we didn't understand it. It's only now that we understand, I understand why he used to look at the nails of his finger. See the nails? These four, not the thumb. He used to look at the fingers like this for a long time. He used to look at it. And then he used to leave his hand. फिर देखते थे. Do you know that this universe consists of four realms, four regions. This dunya, or not this dunya, this kainat, this entire universe consists of actually four worlds. And in those four worlds, there are many other worlds. Approximately 18,000 worlds make up this universe. Approximately 18,000. 18,000 alam. Okay? So within the four worlds that make up the universe, there are many other worlds in it. But the most important four worlds are the one is known as Alam-e-Lahut, Alam-e-Lahut, then you get Alam-e-Jabarut, Alam-e-Malakut, and Alam-e-Nasut. Four. So an Arif of Allah is looking at the four worlds in his fingernails. Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb Alam radiyallahu ta'ala used to look and examine the four worlds. And proof of that is that he used to know exactly what is happening. Like Sayyidina Ghaus al-Azam radiyallahu ta'ala says, Nazartu ila biladillahi jam'an ka khardalatin ala hukm ittisali. I see the universe like I see a mustard seed. Mustard seeds, the tiny mustard seeds in the center of his palm. ये तो हुजूर गौस पाक की शान है, लेकिन वो हुजूर गौस पाक की जो मातहत है वो इस तरफ देखते हैं. They don't look there in the palm. They're going to turn it around and they're going to look at the four worlds. One day, in a place known as Benares, if you know Benares की साड़ियाँ बहुत मशहूर है. So in Benares there was a very poor murid, very poor murid. And he was a laborer. He used to work during the day and then he used to earn his money and cook his food at night. He was tired, sleeping. सो रहा था, थक गया, दिन भर का काम, थक गया, सो गया था. उसके घर में चोर घुस गया. बरेली कहाँ and Banaras kahan? Hazrat Huzur Mufti-e-Azam, the Murshid, is in Bareilly and the Murid is sleeping in Banaras. I don't know how many kilometers, kitna kilometer?
At least 500 miles.
500 miles. 500 miles apart. The man is sleeping, the Gharib is sleeping, and a thief comes inside the house and start picking up all his utensils. गरीब के घर में तो ज़्यादा कोई माल तो नहीं होता है. वो बर्तनों को जमा कर रहा था और बोरी में डाल रहा था बर्तन. He was taking all the goods of the man, the pots and pans, and he was putting into a bag, and he was getting ready to leave. उसी वक्त मुरीद ख्वाब देखता है कि हुजूर सरकार पीरो मुर्शिद हुजूर मुफ्ती आज़मीन ख्वाब में आते हैं और उनको जगा रहे हैं. Get up, get up, get up. You're sleeping, there's a thief in your house that wants to steal all your goods. Get up. He frightened, he got up. When he got up, he looked around, he saw a foreign person in his house and he screamed. The thief got frightened and he ran away. He got up, he saw that all the stuff what Hazrat had said, that he's in his bag and ready to take it and go away. So he got up and he found the bag there. Allahu Akbar. He found the bag and then now he said that my Murshid has saved my house, my belongings. So he must go and speak to Huzur Mufti-e-Azam and go and meet him and pay his respects. Now where is 500 miles? Where is 500 miles? it is here in his fingernail. Ye Arif ki shaan. This is the situation of an Arif. I give you my personal experience. My personal experience. In 2000, in the year 2000, I went to Damascus. Syria. I went to Damascus. And I was invited by a member of the family of Huzur Ghaus al-Azam radiyallahu ta'ala, Sayyid Nizar Jilani. उन्होंने मेरी दावत की तो मैं उनकी दावत में पहुंच गया. मेरे एजाज़ में उन्होंने दावत की. मैं गया, बैठा ना, बैठे हुए खाना ही नहीं आ रहा है. तो इंतज़ार करते करते मैं पूछा, भाई क्यों, क्या देरी है? इसे वी जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर अनदर पर्सन टू कम. मुझे कहा वो एक शख्स आ रहा है, वो बहुत बड़ा मुहद्दिस है. वाह, मैंने कहा बहुत बड़ा, दावत मेरी और मुहद्दिस का इंतज़ार कर रहे हैं. इट वॉज अ वेरी हॉट समर्स डे. बड़ी सख्त गर्मी पड़ती है. So I said, I'm thinking, it's late, he's not coming in. He is not coming in. I'm thinking, what is it? What should I do? So I asked, who is this muhaddis? He said, I don't know, somebody else is bringing him. कोई और एक दोस्त है, वो उनको लेकर आ रहा है. ठीक है भाई, इंतज़ार करें. कुछ देर के बाद एक शख्स आया. देखो, हमारी एक कैफियत होती है, जो सरकार हुजूर मुफ्ती-ए-आज़म हिंद के हाथ में हाथ दे देता है, तो एक कैफियत ये होती है कि अगर कोई बद मज़हब उसके सामने आ जाए, हमारे दिल में एक अजीब खलबली मच जाती है. हम परेशान हो जाते हैं खुद ब खुद, अगरचे हम उन्हें पहचानते भी नहीं. इफ़ वी डोंट इवन नो देम, बट समथिंग हैपन्स इनसाइड. दिस इज़ आवर स्टेट. You can ask Allama Qamar Zama, he is sitting there. एक अजीब कैफियत हो जाती है, तबीयत परेशान हो जाती है. So anyway, this man walked in. When as soon as he walked in, मेरी वो कैफियत हो गई. What कैफियत? मुझे सख्त बुखार शुरू हो गया. Instant fever. And I felt so feverish that I began sweating and feeling very uncomfortable. खामखा, यानी कोई तारुफ भी नहीं, पता नहीं ये शख्स कौन मुहद्दिस है, कौन है, क्या है. बट मेरी तबीयत गैर हो गई थी. आई वाज वेरी डिस्टर्ब्ड. इत्तेफाक से मैं मस्जिद में बावजू खड़ा हूँ आपके सामने, मैं झूठ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. Then there was a window in the house. Something was telling me to look by the window. गैर इख्तियारी तौर पर, यानी I was turned towards the window and wallahi al-azim I saw my murshid Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb alam right there by the window. This is 29 years after the wisal of Huzur Mufti-e-Azam. Huzur Mufti-e-Azam passed away in 1981 and I am experiencing this in the year 2000. 29 years. I looked like that and I started shivering. And Hazrat was telling me, get out of the room. कमरे से निकल जाओ, get out of the room. I could hear him telling me, and जलाल की हालत में हज़रत फरमाए निकल जाओ कमरे से, निकल जाओ, get out from the room. I got up immediately. And I walked out. I went straight into the car. I sat down in the car and I took out some tablets for fever because I couldn't control myself. Shadeed bukhar. And then I thought to myself, this must be koi khabis aaya hai ye. Koi mustanad khabis hai ye. So that Hazrat had warned me 29 years after his Wisal al-Sharif. He told me, get out of the room. I went out of the room, I sat in the van, in the car that I came with. And then my host, Mizban, he came there. He said, Sayyidi, come. the food is ready. I said, no, Jazakallah, I will not have any food. I will not sit with that person who is the muhaddis, jo bhi kuch ho. I will not eat with him. I will not sit in his presence. And he said, okay. He went back in उसको उन्होंने जल्दी रवाना कर दिया क्योंकि दावत मेरी थी उसकी नहीं थी कोई दूसरा आदमी उसको लेकर आ गया था so he sent him off and he came back again to the car. He said वो तो चला गया अब आइए आप क्या मैं नहीं आऊँगा नहीं please he is औलाद of Ghaus Pak Jilani Sayyid tell him no please he is pleading to me come let's go up okay I said all right I'll go with you. But I will not go in the room where he sat. That's my condition. He said, okay, you come into my bedroom. You come into my bedroom. He took me in the bedroom, I sat there, और फिर वो खाना लाया. मैंने कहा, Sayyidi, you are a Sayyid, Jilani Sayyid. Please, I'm mazur, I cannot eat this food. See, so why is he? I say any food that was in the presence of that muhaddis is haram for me to eat. I cannot eat it. He said, Wallah, he said me, Wallah, this is fresh food. This food was not presented to him, it was kept in the kitchen. This food did not go in his presence. I said, agar ye baat hai to theek hai. उसमें से थोड़ा सा मैं खा लिया बाद में पता चला ये एक पक्का खबीस देवबंदी था जो एक वास्ते से I don't want to take the names anyway that's fine बदमज़हब था आप लोग समझ रहे हैं ना जो मैं आज अर्ज कर रहा हूँ so he was that muhaddis that was now dishing out sanads of hadith. So the person who took me there, Sayyid Abu Umar al-Qadiri al-Rifai, he is also a Sayyid, awlad of Sayyid Shaykh al-Rifai al-Kabir. So he came to me in the room, I told him, Sayyidi, take ijaza and let's go. Jaldo chalo, yahan se chalo. फिर कहाँ जाना है मैंने कहा सैयदी अबू इसाम अल-फतूकर रहमतुल्लाह अलैह विसाल हो गया उनका ये एक साहिब अख्फिया थे सैयदना खदर अलैहिस्सलाम के मसाहिबीन में से थे he was a friend of mine. I said let's go straight to him and don't say a single word एक लफ्ज़ उनको मत सुनाओ बस जाकर उनके सामने बैठ जाओ don't say a word just go मुझे उनके पास फौरन ले जाओ he said why I said he will tell you why. Went to him. As soon as we went to him, he had his hand like this. यूं मुझे देख रहे हो नीचे से ऊपर ऊपर से नीचे दो तीन बार is scanning me. He is giving me a spiritual scan. Then he says to my host whose house I was living in, Sayyid Abu Umar al-Qadiri al-Rifai, he's telling him مش ممكن in the lahja of Assyrian lahja مش ممكن اجتماع بين الخير والشر. He's telling him. And then there was another person that there was a who also was given one sanad. ये वो बुजुर्ग है अभी विसाल हो गया उनका ये शाम के अब्दालों में से थे. He said why he's telling why did you take this person me मुझे वहाँ क्यों लेकर गया. उसने कहा भाई उन्होंने मेरी दावत की तो मैं आपकी दावत की वो दूसरा जो आदमी आया वहाँ क्यों दाखिल हुआ. Why did he come inside? Say he was not invited but he just some other friend brought him and came. He said مش ممكن इज्तिमा बैन अल खैर व शर. उन्होंने उसका जवाब दे दिया. Do you understand? यानी it is not possible for good and evil to assemble at one point. So the next person then, when he heard this, he said, Ya Allah, this is 29 years after the wisal of Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb radiyallahu ta'ala. He says that, but the man gave me a sanad. I say, take the sanad, see the fire burning there, go and put it inside the fire. So he took that and he put it inside the fire. This is one incident, my personal experience. Number two, I'll just give you the second one and I will terminate, because बहुत सारी बातें हज़रत की ऐसी है, आप रात भर भी बैठे वो बात ख़त्म नहीं होगी. Second time, this was in 2005. I went to Baghdad Sharif. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Huzur Azam radiallahu ta'ala, I tried to make it my duty to be present every year in the big Yarwi Sharif of Huzur Azam. It was the big Yarwi Sharif of Huzur Azam. The year is 2005. This is how many years? This is 24 years after the Wisal. Huzur Mufti-e-Azam मेरे मुर्शिद कामिल की विसाल के 24 साल के बाद की बात है. On the big night, after the function that had taken place in the Masjid al-Sharif, the main program, something said, drawing me, कोई चीज़ मुझे यूं खींच कर मस्जिद के दरवाजे की तरफ ला रही. I went, गैर इख्तियारी तौर पर. The force, it's an amazing spiritual force, had pulled me towards the door of the masjid. And the masjid door, if you are standing at the masjid door, you move a few steps, you can see the door. आप मेरे तरफ तवज्जो कीजिए, उधर मत देखिए. कुर्सी बात नहीं कर रही है, मैं कर रहा हूँ. मेरे तरफ तवज्जो करें आप. I went out of the masjid and I entered the Darbar Sharif, where I could see the entrance. यानी दरगाह शरीफ के जो मेन दरवाज़ा है वो सामने नज़र आया. 24 years, 24 घंटा, 24 साल किसी की विसाल के बाद. Who do you think I see standing by the door and making Fatiha? मेरे पीर दस्तगीर हुजूर मुफ्ती आज़म कुतुब आलम रदी अल्लाह ताला. वल्लाह कसम खा कर कह रहा हूँ आपके सामने बावजू मस्जिद शरीफ के अंदर कि मैंने हज़रत को दरवाज़े पर हुजूर गौसे पाक के 11वीं शरीफ की रात दरवाज़े पे खड़े होकर अमामा शरीफ जुब्बा वगैरह जो हज़रत कपड़ा पहनते थे, जो उलमा का जो लिबास पहनते थे, he was standing not inside the mazar, outside the mazar by the door and making Fatiha. Making Fatiha at the Raza Mubarak of Sayyidina Ghaus al-Azam radiyallahu ta'ala on the night of 11वीं Sharif. And then what do you think happened? Zameen ne mere पैरों को पकड़ लिया. I could not move. जम गए थे पैर. I tried. ऐसे मुर्शिद की हाजिरी हो रही है, कदम बोसी का और दस बोसी का मौका मिल जाए. You know, I tried to lift my leg. My legs were all stuck on the ground. I could not move. I could not move at all to go up and meet my murshid. And then my eye blinked. Just a blink of the eye. And when I opened my eye, he was gone. तो my respected honored brothers, हुजूर मैं अब ख़त्म करूँ, बहुत देर हो गई. एक वाक़या और बयान करके I will at the time of the Urs of Huzur Mufti Ala Hazrat radiyallahu ta'ala, Hazrat was sitting in his Baitak Darul Iftar and welcoming the guests to meet. Whoever guest came, they used to come and meet. There's a group of people came from Rampur. Rampur is not very far from Bareilly Sharif. So about 5-6 of them came, and 4 came with the intention of becoming murid. इस नियत से आए कि हज़रत से हम बैत करें, मुरीद बनेंगे. And the 5th person was a sort of a troublesome man. इसे मैं उनसे ऐसे ऐसे सवाल करूंगा, देखते वो जवाब देते या नहीं. The person who brought them he left Rampur to come to Bareilly. Now he's coming to Bareilly. The man that wanted to ask the question, he looks up, ticket liye, gaadi ki ticket liye, बैठ गए. He came to Bareilly station. वो जो अशरफ खान नाम था उसका, अशरफ खान, वो टिकट ढूंढ रहा है, टिकट ही नहीं मिल रहा है उसको. He can't find his ticket. Everybody else found their ticket. Everyone already found their ticket. So he can't find the ticket. So the person who brought him and came, his name was Rahmat Khan. उसने कहा ऐसा करो आप, हम प्लेटफॉर्म की टिकट खरीद लेते, आप यहीं खड़े रहे. Otherwise, without the ticket, you can't leave, you can't exit the station. They will fine you. So he said, okay, you stay here, we will buy a platform ticket and we'll come back and give it to you so you can come out. So his friends left, वो लोग बाहर चले गए टिकट खरीदने के लिए, प्लेटफॉर्म टिकट खरीदने के लिए. इतने में ये अशरफ खान खड़ा हुआ था, एक बुजुर्ग आए, उनके हाथ पकड़ लिए. एक बुजुर्ग, उन्होंने कभी देखा नहीं, पहली मर्तबा देखा. एक बुजुर्ग आए, उनका हाथ पकड़े, हाथ पकड़ते लेकर उन्हें स्टेशन के बाहर कर दिए. Passed the ticket collector, checking the tickets, passed him. He didn't even ask a question, took him outside, left him there, or left him in a front like that. अब जब ये घूम के देखा, वो बुजुर्ग गायब हो गए. वो बुजुर्ग गायब हो गए. तो रहमत खान आया, तो भाई आप बाहर कैसे आ गए? फरमाया मुझे क्या मालूम. एक बुजुर्ग शख्सियत थी, उन्होंने मैंने हाथ पर, they held my hand and brought me outside and left me here, and then he suddenly disappeared. I don't know him. So, oh, sure. And they left from there. They went to the Mazar of Ala Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala, and they met Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Hind. And this Ashraf Khan started trembling. He started trembling, thinking, Ya Allah. He's trembling, mouth is shut. The mouth is sealed. And then Rahmat Khan said, हुजूर ये हम लोग रामपुर से आए, ये चार आदमी जो है ना, ये चार आदमी इस नियत से आए कि ये बैत हो जाए. You want to become murid. Now what this Ashraf Khan did, वो चार जो मुरीद होने वाले थे ना, वो तो उस तरफ बैठा, आकर इनके साथ में बैठ गया मुरीद होने के लिए. Because he didn't want to become murid. He came and joined the other four. So when रहमत खान said to हुजूर मुफ्ती आज़म, हुजूर ये चार आदमी मुरीद, हजरत ने फरमाया आपने चार कहा, या तो पांच बैठे हुए. तो मैं पता नहीं हजरत, ये इसका नाम अशरफ खान है, ये तो आया है साथ में, और he had no intention of becoming murid. अच्छा. तो हजरत looked at Ashraf Khan, एक नज़र, और नज़र विलायत, and said to him, अच्छा बताइए. हजरत फरमाते वो स्टेशन वाला मामला भूल जाओ. हजरत फरमा रहे उससे, वो स्टेशन में जो कुछ हुआ वो भूल जाओ. क्यों नहीं? उसने पहचान लिया, this was the same person that held his hand and took him out. ऐसे वो भूल जाओ, forget about that station incident. Ask the questions that you want to ask me. वो सवालात जो आप मुझसे करने आए, वो सवाल करो, स्टेशन वाला मामला भूल जाओ. उसने कहा हुजूर मैं गंग, जबान बंद हो गई, अब कोई सवाल नहीं, तो आपने तमाम सवालों का जवाब दे दिया, अब अपनी गुलामी में मुझे कबूल फरमा लीजिए आप. इसे now just accept me as your गुलाम, as your मुरीद. I want to become your मुरीद. ऐसे फिर भी जो सवाल है वो सवाल तो करो. फरमाया हुजूर कोई सवाल नहीं. अजीजों, there are so many incidents of the wilaya of Huzur Mufti-e-Azam Qutb radiallahu ta'ala. He'll take I have composed a book. मैंने किताब लिख दी हजरत के सीरत पर, and you will find all this what I'm speaking to you in that book. It's approximately 750 pages. inshallah they will, I go back to South Africa, I'm going to publish that book. It's in English. And also I have written the biography of Sayyidina Ala Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala, the first English biography in 2 volumes, 1,500 pages. Inshallah, these 2 books will be printed shortly with all the other books that I had printed and worked on Ala Hazrat's books. That's beside the fact. But these 2 books will be printed, inshallah, when I go back to South Africa. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala हमें बुजुर्गों की बातों पर और उनकी बातों पर अमल करने की तौफीक अता फरमाए। परवरदिगार आलम, हम गुनाहगार, सियाकार, बदकार हैं। आज रात आप एक अल्लाह के वली की याद में हम जमा हुए। परवरदिगार आलम उस वली कामिल की बरकत से हमारे गुनाहों को माफ़ फरमा, नेकियों की तौफीक दे, गुनाहों से बचा, शरीयत पर कायम रख। जो मुसलमान बीमार हैं उन्हें शिफाए कामिला आजिला अता फरमा, जो परेशान हैं उनकी परेशानियों को दूर फरमा। इलाही आलमीन, जो बेनमाजी है उन्हें नमाज़ पढ़ने की तौफीक अता फरमा। इलाही आलमीन, जो मुसलमान दुनिया से चले गए उनकी भी मग़फ़िरत फरमा। व आखिर दावाना अनिल हम्दुलिल्लाह रब्बिल